Hey guys, King Charmander here, aka Hikaru. Alright, so we are looking at something a little spicy, or something that I really was just kind of looking at with a friend one day. We were looking at Pingpong.com, we were wondering why Shadow Snorlax is so high on the Premier Cup scale. I love Snorlax. It's probably one of the things you remember if you played the original Red and Blue games where you needed a Poke Flute, you need to wake that damn thing up, and then you needed to move out of the way so that one, or you wanted to catch it. You needed to move out of the way so you could advance to the next stage of the game, or you wanted to catch that thing so it could be in your team, like I did. Shadow Snorlax is powerful. Just like in the original game, Snorlax is very powerful. The Shadow version, however, is even stronger. And because of that extra damage you get at the expense of its defense, we are going to look exactly why Shadow Snorlax is so powerful for the Premier Cup. Now, I love Snorlax. We all do. It's cute, it's cuddly, and as a shadow, it will wreck the meta. Well, actually, I looked into it, and actually, it's pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. All right, we're gonna take a look at it right now. Alright, so Snorlax is an old favorite. Not really a favorite. This thing was either your best friend in the world or one of the most annoying things you ever met in your entire life. You want to know why? Because back in the old days, when you would encounter Snorlax, you needed the Poke Flute. And when you used the Poke Flute, you woke up the Snorlax, then you got to battle the Snorlax, and then it was level 30. And then you got the Pokeball at it, and then you catch it. Basically, this thing was the wall. The wall that blocked you from advancing in your story in Red and Blue. The thing we love and adore, and also one of the most annoying things to get past in the main series games. That is the Snorlax. And now I'm glad Snorlax has such prominence in Pokemon Go because it's very iconic. Like I said, that story I put before when it blocked you in Red and Blue, it's very iconic, very powerful in the original game and in the competitive scene for like Belly Drum Snorlax, Belly Drum, etc., and also in Pokemon Go. Now, the interesting about Premier Cup is that Snorlax's strength is its Shadow version. Why? So Snorlax, as you see, is number 143. We don't have that cool Shadow like animation in the background, but I can analyze. It'll be good enough to analyze it from just a regular perspective. Now, if you look at its stats, Snorlax is a normal type Pokemon with max of 3225. It does break the 3000s. It has a high stamina stat. Attack and defense are pretty decent. Its defense is 16169. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay, so the thing about Snorlax or Shadows in general, the reason why they're so powerful is because you amplify the attack at the cost of defense. Now, if you take a look here, the reason why Shadow Lax is so good in Premier Cup is because its stamina is so high. Snorlax's defense isn't really the reason why it's so strong. It's because of its stamina. It is a thick boy, so thick that it will give you an enormous, well, not an enormous advantage, but that's the reason it's so good with that attack boost, especially in Premier League, because it's already bulky. It's not, well, it depends where you look at the bulk, but its stamina is just so high. It does a lot of damage with Lick, and it has a very versatile move pool. As you see here, it's only weak to fighting. So, if you look at Premier Cup doesn't have a lot of fighting types. Like, there's fighting types that are viable, don't get me wrong, and you might see them, but because of the dangers of Togekiss, you might not see a lot of fighters. And that's where Snorlax thrives. Because of the absence of fighters, Snorlax is a very powerful Pokemon, especially the Shadow version, which is because its attack gets boosted because of Shadow. So because its attack gets boosted, it's going to lick you to death because, Lick and Hyper Beam, it does best DPS, but it's just the Lick is so strong. Don't ever use Yawn Snorlax, by the way. For all y'all that caught that event one and think it's good in Pokemon Go, freak no, don't ever use it. That instant hit it. Don't ever use those moves. Use Lick. Lick, 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 lick. You lick, we lick, we lick. Lick, lick, lick. Just lick it down. Lick it down, go to town, lick down. That's what you do. Lick down. Lick, and its move pool is so vast. It has Skull Bash. It has Outrage. Obviously, you want Body Slam. Body Slam is spammy, it's powerful, and you get Stab, which is same attack type bonus. You want that Body Slam on there. You have Body Slam, but if you don't want to run Body Slam, you can also run different things. You got Superpower, you got Outrage, you got Heavy Slam, you got Earthquake. Snorlax's strength is not only in the fact that it does so much damage with Lick and it has some thickness to it, it's also very powerful and has a great move pool. So versatile, so big, so thick, so powerful. That is Snorlax. And as you see, it's been around since Generation 1. The problem with what we're trying to use it for in Premier Cup is that the one we're trying to use is Shadow. I personally don't have a Shadowlax. I kind of wish I did have one just for Premier Cup or Master League in general, just because it's so powerful. As you see here, it does require some Stardust and Canyon Make, but because it's been around for so long, it's very likely that you already have one. But like I said here, we're looking at the Shadow version. Not a lot of people have the Shadow versions, which is a problem. But if you do have it, it is incredibly powerful. It does cause quite a bit of dust, as with anything with the Premier Cup, because of its you need to be, obviously everything needs to be level 40, so that's a few 100,000. It was mostly used in gyms before because of its high HP, so you could block gyms a lot with Snorlax. Now in PvP, it turns into a monster. As you see here, its typical game completes nothing more than eating and sleeping. It's such a docile Pokemon that our children use it as expansibility as a place to play, which means it's one of the chillest mother effers in the entire world, which is amazing. But yeah, this is Snorlax, and like I said, even though this is viable, the Shadow version is what we're going to take a look at. The Shadow is so powerful, and we are going to see why very shortly on PvPpoke.com. Alright, so here we go with the ppoke.com analysis. Like I said, and like in every one of my videos, please consider donating. This is an amazing website, and the creator is a wonderful human being, and you can do it by clicking on this contribute button right here through GitHub or Patreon. Such a useful tool. As you see, so many supporters because it's just that good, and it helps us, and it definitely helps me do everything I do. Without this website, I would definitely not be as good as I am today, and I would have never done the things I would have done. So let's get to the rankings. We're going to go here, we're going to go to Master League, and then we're going to go to Premier Cup. Now, if you look overall, Snorlax Shadow rates at number 4. If you look at the other Snorlax, it's at 16. It drops a whole 12 rankings, and the question is why? It's because of the Shadow damage. As you see, Shadow Snorlax overall rates at number 4. It is an incredible switch because Lick does super bad effective damage against Metagross, and Body Slams hit hard against Togekiss. You'll even beat opposing Snorlaxes, Garchomps, and Gyaradoses. It is a fantastic safe switch. Now, as you see, its key losses are to Dragonite, Swampert, Machamp, obviously to Machamp because of the fighting typing, like normal fighting, and Shadow, Dragonite, and Hydreigon, just because it loses some of that defense, and Dragonite hits so hard. If whatever mon, it's because Dragon Breath is so powerful, that's why it'll lose against Dragonite. As you see here, Snorlax is incredibly powerful. Lick and Body Slam Superpower. Superpower lets you smack the crap out of everything. You will yeet it, but you will lower your stats, so make sure you switch out of it. But Lick and Body Slam is a fantastic, like I said, Lick and Body Slam is just such a fantastic moveset. Snorlax also, its strength lies in its bulk. As you see here, the original version doesn't do as well because of the fact that it doesn't do as much damage. You'll lose against Togekiss in some scenarios. And as you see, you'll still lose to stat and everything else just because you don't your damage output is lower. In Premier Cup and Master League, yes, bulk is king, but also the amount of damage you can output matters. Because everything does so much damage that you need to be able to do either more damage, or you're going to have those potential like switch-ins or switch-outs or those charge moves where Body Slam and Lick allow you to do that with Shadowlax. That's why it's so strong. In the lead, Shadowlax rates as the number 2 Mon. So powerful, incredibly powerful. It's just below Togekiss, and it even outpaces Metagross and Magnezone and Dragonite. And the reason being is because it is just so good in the lead. Lick and Body Slam, like I said, make a wonderful bear, and it's just incredibly powerful. Like I said before, you will lose to these subsequent things. That's only because they either outpace you and because the Shadow version loses defense, and they just do so much damage overall. But as you see here, so good in the lead, very good in the lead, especially as its best strength, in my opinion, which is as a switch. It is the number 1 safe switch. If you lose the lead, let's say you are using the Togekiss Metagross core, you beat the lead with Togekiss, they're probably going to throw in their Metagross. Guess what? Shadow Snorlax is the perfect thing to throw into it and just lick your opponent down. It does so much damage against Metagross with Body Slam Superpower. It has a lot of play to it. Shadow Snorlax is a beast safe switch. And now, as a closer, closing out, not so much, just because Snorlax isn't really much of a thick boy as a closer. Yes, he'll still win against some key Mons, but you just gotta be careful because depending on shield scenario and energy scenarios, it's very dangerous. As you see though, it's still rated incredibly high. It is still very, very powerful. As you see, it's a number 5 charger because of Body Slam Lick, and Superpower hits hard like a truck too, even if it lowers your stats. As an attacker, its rates lucky number 7. Now, its strength lies in that, like I said, its Shadow version loses that defense, but its stamina is so high that Shadow Snorlax can still take some hits. The reason you lose against Dragonite and Dragonite Shadow is just because Dragon Breath does so much damage. Along with that, Swampert shoots really fast, it charges really fast and hits fast, and same thing, well, and of course fighters are very fighters, yeah, you don't want, if you see a fighter, get out of there. That's basically what it is. And the reason why you lose against Machamp is because Cross Chop hits so hard, especially against the Shadow version, because like I said, defense is lowered. Now we're gonna run in multi-sim on PremierPoke.com. As you see here, Shadow Lax and Premier Pup in the one shield rate at 88.9. You still have play if you decide to run the Earthquake. In my opinion, you should run Superpower just because of your ability to get out of there and just because you do extra damage with Shadow. But if you do other movesets like Body Slam, Earthquake, you still lose effectiveness, but it's still very good. But definitely, I would definitely recommend Superpower. You can play with its moveset too. You can do Skull Bash, you can do Body Slam, you can do Skull Bash, you can do other things. I would definitely keep Body Slam on there though. Body Slam is what makes Snorlax so good, because Body Slam is spammy and you get the stab bonus from it. So you get the same attack bonus from it. So you get that. Body Slam, Superpower. How about the 2 shields? In the 2 shields, as you see, in the 1 shield, it's very powerful. In the 2 shields, we get this. Very powerful still. See, that's the reason why Snorlax is incredibly only below Togekiss. Because it wins so many matchups in the 2s, and it's so freaking powerful. Look at this. We're going to go down the chart, and if we go down the chart, what you beat is... there you go. That's the worst. As you see, the worst ones are definitely... As you see, the ones you beat, Ghost Pokemon, because you wall Ghost heavily wall Ghost, like Ghost go and die. As you see here, you're very powerful against Swampert. You do very well against, hold on, let me go down here. You're going to go down here. And against opposing Snorlaxes, you'll do well as well, just because you output more damage. You're able to Body Slam Hydreigon to death. You're able to Body Slam Shadows. Shadow Gyarados. It has a lot of... It's very versatile. Very versatile. And so we're going to go... So what I'm going to do, as you see here, its attack is rose at the cost of its defense, but its stamina is still ridiculously high. That's what makes Shadow Lax such a monster. Now, what we're going to do here is that I'm going to run a simulator. We're going to run a training sim, and we're going to put Snorlax in the lead. Now, we're going to do this. We're going to put Snorlax in the lead, Shadow Lax in the lead. We'll put Shadow Lax. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me do this. So this is I always recommend you try out this training simulator. If you haven't done it and you're looking to practice and get better, this simulator, other than watching content creators, this is free practice. No stress at all. You can put in your IVs. It gives you such an enormous advantage because you get to play so much without, like I said, no stress. No stress at all. You get to play with IVs. You get to do all these great things. And these are very close to similar battles. The reason I got to rank 10 in Season 1 with my Hydreigon is because I practiced a bajillion times on this simulator to test how much damage Hydreigon can take against certain mons and certain moves and what it truly is able to do because of the simulator. So we're going to run Shadow Snacks. We're going to run Shadow Lax as a... So what I'll do is I'll run Shadow Lax as a switch. We'll run Togekiss in the lead. And then we'll do Ancient Power Flamethrower. And then we'll do it as a switch. So we'll do Snorlax as a switch. Shadow Snorlax as our switch. And then we'll close out with Metagross. And then we'll change Metagross to Earthquake because Earthquake is what you want. Alright, so wait, hold on. Sorry about that. Or you switch it right here. And oh, wait, Mother Dodger! Okay. There you go. Save changes. Alright, now it's changed. Alright, so now we have all our movesets. Charm, Ancient Power, Flamethrower, Lick, Hyper Beam, Superpower, and then poof. Alright, so we got that. We got Premier Cup, we got Champion. Let's go. So we got Togekiss versus Mamoswine. This is horrible, but you know what? We got our safe switch in Shadow Snorlax. So now we got Snorlax into a Garchomp. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I forgot to change it from... Yeah, make sure you... Sorry about that. Yeah, I jacked up. I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot. I know. I forgot the body slam. Bruh. Bro. Okay, okay, okay. Now we get the... Oh, dang. This is the same lead anyway. So, we get the Mamoswine into Togekiss. We're going to switch immediately to Shadow Lax so that we can get some energy. And we switch into a Conkeldurr. This is absolutely horrifying. Now, the good thing is Conkeldurr doesn't have Cross Chop because Cross Chop purges fast. So, we're going to just body slam down here. We're gonna hit these multiple body slams. Hopefully we get some shields, and then I'll just go straight to Togekiss again. But like Shadow Lax, still great save, so she should be able to get a second body slam before he gets to a dynamic punch because Conkeldurr might elect to actually just farm down our Snorlax here and then just gather all this energy so it could just blast us whatever it wants in the end. So we lose Snorlax to this Conkeldurr. I'm going to send in Togekiss, and now we're going to shield both of these because I can definitely bet that this is probably going to be a Stone Edge. Yep. Rocks on rocks on rocks. So the rocks go down, and now all we're going to do is just Charm down. Now, I'm probably going to get another one here. I'm not going to shield this. It sounds dangerous, but we still... But, oh, it's the Dynamic Punch. Yep, Conkeldurr won't get to another Stone Edge. Our opponent elects to switch into a Swampert, which is kind of bad on our end. Yeah, this is kind of horrible. So we're going to shield this. I'm going to go for the Ancient Power just to hit the boost. We have Metagross in the back. The problem is that Conkeldurr sucks. We still have a Conkeldurr, and yeah, and Swampert. Okay, so we're going to Ancient Power, hoping... Do we get the boost? We do not get the boost. Okay, that's fine. So at this point, we're just going to let our Swampert go. You could tank a Hydro Cannon because Swampert in Premier Cup is a lot tankier than its Ultra League cousin. And in Master League and Togekiss is the same thing as Premier Cup. As you see, it can take this Hydro Cannon. We're going to Charm Down. So we fully commit to the Charm Down. Okay, never mind. We can't Charm Down because Hydro Cannon gets to so fast. I don't know. Do we live this? I am not entirely sure. Okay, we don't live that, but that's okay because we're going to come in with our Metagross. We're going to get our Metagross against this Mamoswine. And then we get Conkeldurr. We're just going to farm that Conkeldurr, and 1 Meteor Mash should eat this Pulsewine, and this is GG's. As you see, Snorlax is a very powerful save switch, even though we lost on multiple fronts. We managed to pop both shields, and we managed to Charm Down with Togekiss. Well, not really Charm Down, but we managed to do heavy Charm damage, and we win. As you see, Shadow Snorlax is so good. Very, very good. So good. So good. This isn't good, though. We got a Magnezone into a Togekiss. This is not good. So we're going to save switch into Togekiss once more, and we get a Charizard versus our Shadow Snorlax. Now, as you see here, Shadow Snorlax is able to do heavy lick damage. You lick down. You lick, we lick, we lick. We lick hard. We lick hard AF. So we're looking down, and we're going to shoot these body slams off. Now, we should be able to take out Charizard. I'm not going to shield here just to show you. It can take some damage. If this is Blast Burn, this is going to hurt a lot. As you see there, it does heavy damage. So we're going to hit Body Slam. We should be able to get to the Body Slam. We want to take out this Charizard and win switch. Now, the problem is here is we have a Magnezone versus a Shadow. We have Magnezone. Still, our opponent does elect to shield here. We're going to try and lick down. I'm going to shield here because I want to win switch. And then what I'm going to do is try to lick down and try to get some superpower energy. That's what we're going to try. That's what we do in this scenario. So we do get the lick down. And then we get a Rhyperior. If I can get a superpower off, which I do not, which is bad. So we don't get the superpower off. That's kind of bad. And a Rhyperior does heavy damage with these Mud Slaps. These Mud Slaps will slap us down. It will slap really, really hard. This is either a Surf or a Rock Wrecker. I will not shield. Yes, it is indeed a Surf. And Surf still does a decent amount of chip damage. Now we're going to hit a Meteor Mash. The problem is here is now we have... This is probably GG's because we have Togekiss lined up against a Magnezone, and Magnezone with a Wild Chart sucks. If you looked at my previous video, I showed just how strong Magnezone is versus Togekiss. However, we might have a chance here actually because we can get to a Flamethrower. Can we get to a Flamethrower? Actually, this Magnezone probably has 2 Wild Charges, so this is gonna suck a lot. There's the 1 Wild Charge. And then we're probably going to expect the second one, and this is GG's. So what I should it's just Magnezone and the close of his Togekiss, as you see here, is just so bad because yes, there you go. You get yeeted in one shot by Magnezone by Wall Charge, and that's GG's. I'll do one more, and this time I'll showcase Snorlax in the lead. We'll do some you'll we did two where Shadow Snorlax shows is a very powerful switch. I'll go ahead and use it now as a lead. We'll put Metagross in the back, and we'll put, let's say, Garchomp. We'll put Garchomp because I like Garchomp. Garchomp charges fast. It's very powerful. It's very strong as a closer. We'll use Metagross as a switch. We'll put in the lead. All right, so let's go. So we get Snorlax versus a Togekiss. Now Shadow Snorlax beats Togekiss in this scenario. We're just going to lick you down, and for some reason we have Hyper Beam, so I'm gonna back out of here real quick, and that's because we didn't switch out. I don't know why it picks superpower. Okay, Body Slam, superpower. All right, Outrage, Earthquake. All right, double check your moves before you run your sim. Alright, so we got a Dragonite, and we actually lose this match apart. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually lick down... why does it still have Hyper Beam? Okay, so I'm going to switch to Premier Cup. Okay, it still has Hyper Beam. So what I'm going to do is just going to reload. I'm going to reload, and we're going to reload, and we'll reload. We'll reload this. We'll put Premier Cup. Yeah, and then I'll do. So I don't know why it's okay. It's okay. It happens. It happens. Unfortunately, it's my fault for not looking either. So put Body Slam up. Okay, we'll add that. We add Metagross. We shall do the Meta of Grosses. Metagross with Earthquake, and then we'll do Garchomp in the closer. Like I said, make sure your moves are correct before you actually start the sim. There you go. Body Slam superpower. All right, looks like we're good. All right, so let's go. So now we get, oh, this is even worse. It's like the leads get worse every time we run a new sim. Okay, so we got Machamp, which isn't ideal. I'm going to lick here and try to switch out. We get to switch out into Machamp. Now, Machamp with Cross Chop is spammy, so this is kind of dangerous. We're going to just gather a bunch of energy here. As you see as a lead, we are able to successfully switch out, and we get Dragonite. Now, this isn't ideal, but we can just hit these meter mashes. Now, we're in a little bit of danger. We're a little bit of danger. So I'm going to try to take this to the my goal here is to take this to the zeros. Hopefully he elects to farm down or try to farm down and our opponent. So they fire their shot. What I'm going to do here is I will shield this and then we'll let, oh, it's a dragon. I resisted too. Rule of thumb, don't resist Dragonite's moves because it's dragon, steel resist dragons. Well, you could. Outrage might have knocked out there, but it's okay. So we get our Dragonite. Our Dragonite uses both energy and both shields. So now this is going to be very interesting. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to send in our Snorlax because Garchomp isn't able to. Garchomp doesn't do a lot of damage with Mudshot, and Snorlax already has energy. So we're gonna fire all this energy, and then we're gonna heavy slime the crap. Well, not heavy slime. I mean body slime the crap. Dragonite's going to get to a move. I'm going to elect to shield this just because we're gonna get energy anyways, and it's a Dragon Claw. Unfortunately, we didn't need to shield that, but that's fine. Well, I'm making all the wrong calls here. We get the Togekiss again. So we get Togekiss. This is bad because we don't want a Togekiss against our Garchomp. That spells a disaster. So as you see here, oh man, it takes so much damage versus those. Oh no. Okay, we actually get a Body Slam. Here's the problem though. That's a Togekiss versus Garchomp. So Body Slam won't KO this Togekiss. This definitely doesn't KO. And now we're left. I'm gonna switch in Garchomp. And now if our opponent switches into Machamp, we have a chance. I don't know if we have a chance here, actually, because Crush Chop does heavy damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to get 2 Outrages and then fire, and we'll see if we can do it. Because Outrage charges decently. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, man. Oh, no. This is very bad. But, as you see here, we did our best. Shadow Snorlax is going to take... Okay, 1... 2, 3. We're gonna fire this Outrage and just pray that we have a second one lined up for that Togekiss, because this is what we need, another Outrage in hopes of doing. Oh no, we don't have enough. Oh boy. Oh no, we did our best. It's okay. And then we'll just get taken out by this Togekiss. Unfortunately, it's just the way of the game. That's just the way of the game. So I'm gonna do one more. I will do one more simulator.
We get a Gyarados versus Shadow Snorlax. This is perfect. We are able to lick this thing down, and then we are able to slam it. We are heavy. The neck breakers will be very powerful. And then we do get that body slam. Thankfully, Gyarados doesn't get stabbed because it is not a dragon, even though it looks like a dragon. Well, it looks like a water dragon, but yeah, it doesn't get dragon type, which is interesting. I mean, even when it goes mega, it doesn't get dragon typing, so that's even more interesting. So yeah. So we're going to so it's going to fire off and this is definitely a crunch. We can tank that. As you see, Shadow Snorlax, even though it loses that defensive, its stamina is so high that we are able to tank that crunch. And then now we're just going to slam you to oblivion. Now, he should shield here. He does not. Okay, they do not shield. Okay, so we're going to just lick. We're just going to... I'll let my Snorlax go. That's fine. We shall lick. That's another crunch. That's fine. We're going to send in our... Oh, no. This is actually a little bad here. We'll send in Garchomp because it what will happen is that Metagross will be double resisted. I probably should have shielded. He's okay. What we're gonna do here is just get a whole bunch of energy. I'm gonna fire this Outrage. As you see here, yeah, this was a very bad idea. Wow. Okay, so I should have shielded both. As you see here, be very careful. Make sure you use your shields when you have a Shadow Lux. And we're gonna switch out of this because this is a horrible matchup. We'll Bullet Punch down. Well, not really bullet touchdown. We're gonna wait until we get this. We'll get our mirror mash. We'll get that before our opponent elects it switches out into this Machamp. That's perfectly fine. Hopefully we do break a shield here. Oh, we don't break a shield. That's fine. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna bullet punch down. I will shield everything here in Metagross. As you see, Snorlax did its job. It did as much damage as it could, and we have shield advantage here, so this is great. We are able to block that cross chop and farm down, which is beautiful. We're going to fire off these meter matches against his Togekiss, but this should be GG's. We have an extra shield, and Bullet Punch does heavy damage along Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash should KO this Togekiss. If it does land, it does not land. That's okay. We are going to just Bullet Punch you until we get a Meteor Mash, and then this is GG's. We'll shield this one. And then, actually, we'll do something pretty sweet here. We'll switch into Garchomp, and then we'll fire Outrage. This should KO at this range. Just to use up this energy and to just like have a little bit of fun. This should KO. And that's GG's. As you see here, Shadow Lax in the lead is very powerful. Just be very careful. If we didn't have Metagross, it would have been very dangerous against this Machamp and Togekiss. But Metagross came through for us, as you saw here. But Shadow Lax lead and switch very strong, as you see here. I hope y'all enjoyed that. That was really hard to play around, but I really hope you enjoyed those simulators. As you see, Snorlax is very powerful in the lead and the switch, and then we'll review this all in the summary.
All right, so our summary for today, the key takeaways is that Shadow Snorlax is very powerful in the lead. I liked it a lot in the lead as a switch. It's also very good. Except just for note 2, just it's somewhat bulky, but just be careful of having it take too much damage. It is very powerful, and you can take advantage of its stamina, like I just noted there. Just be a little careful. And you can kind of play with its moveset to fit your team. Snorlax has a very wide move pool, and you might be able to use it to cover other things if you don't feel comfortable running Body Slam Superpower. I personally like Body Slam Superpower a lot, but like I said, it's up to you. Like Body Slam is a necessity, but you could play with it. You could definitely play this moveset if you want to test that out. And extra notes are test out things before considering powering up a Shadow Lax if you have limited stars candy. Look at your resources. If you really like Shadow Snorlax and you have one, be careful just because it takes so much resources that you don't want to use a Snorlax that you're not going to use. You know what I mean? Just like with any Mon that's kind of off meta or not particularly like meta or commonly used, you want to take a look at your reserves and is it really worth it for me to power up this Pokemon because I'm comfortable using it and I think it's really good for the team I want to use. If you have any questions, please like and subscribe and put in the comments. I'll get back to you and look at it as soon as I can. But like I said, with anything that's Shadow, anything that's Limited, be very careful if you really, really want it. It's very powerful. Shadow Sonic is very powerful, but just be careful. But like I said, if there's anything like me, please put in the comments. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.